Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In the series of pattern printing, so far we have seen so many patterns. In this video, we will see how we can actually print this particular pattern. So, if you could carefully observe this pattern, in middle we have a number which is 1 and going to the right side, this number is keeps increasing until this particular number 5 in this case, and in the left side also this number is got increasing till the value 5. So let us go ahead and see how we can print this particular pattern. So as we can observe in this pattern, we have 5 rows. So for that reason, I will take a variable rows and I will assign the value 5. So after, if you could carefully observe this pattern, here apart from these numbers, before these numbers we have spaces, right? So we need to print these spaces in order to get this exact pattern. For that, in order to keep track of these spaces, in order to print these spaces, I will take a variable spaces and I will assign it with 0, because in the first row we don't have any spaces before these numbers. So for that reason I am assigning the spaces as 0. So going ahead, in order to generate these many number of rows, I will use a for loop. So for I in range, so we need to generate a range of values. So what are the range of values that we are going to generate is that by observing this pattern, we can conclude that in this diagonal we are having the values 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So in this diagonal also we have the values 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So these values are common to both diagonals. So by using these values 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we can generate all these particular values here. So in order to do that, I will first use these values and we will generate first these values. So for that reason, I am taking rows and we will go till the value 1. So for that reason, I am mentioning 0 and we are reducing these values, right? So for that reason, I am mentioning -1. So in this, in order to know what values we are having in I will print the value I here. So now if I execute this, we can able to see the result. We are getting exactly what we have expected, which are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now what we will be doing is that first we will print this particular off pattern which is on the left side. Later we will print this particular right side pattern, so we will get the whole pattern. So in order to print this particular left side pattern, if you could observe these diagonal values, that is what we have expected and got by using this range which are present in I. By using these values we can able to get all of these values and get this pattern. So in order to do that, you have to observe this particular left pattern here, and we have in this diagonal we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which are exactly the values of 5. So in every single row we are starting with the value I. Here in this first row we are starting with the value 5, which is I, and going till the value 1. The second row we are starting with 4, which is the value here in I, and going till the value 1. In the third row, we are starting with value I, which is 3, and going till 1. So in every single row, we are starting with I and going till the value 1. So if we could able to get that, we can able to get all of these values. So we can observe these are repeating, right? So in every single line, we are starting with I, going till the value 1. So when we have these kind of repeated statements, we go for loops, right? So that is what I will be doing now. So inside of this for loop, I will use another loop. I am taking j in range. So now we will generate the range of values. And the question is, what are the range of values we are going to generate? As we have discussed, in every single row, we are starting with I and going till the value 1. So that is what we will be generating now. So for that, I will mention I, and this is the starting value, and we need to go till the value 1. So for that reason, I am mentioning 0 and we are reducing the values, right? So for that, I am mentioning -1 here. So here, inside of this for loop, instead of printing this I will print the value j here. So now, if I execute this, we can able to see the result 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 1. So these are the exact values that we have in this particular left half pattern 5 4 3 2 1 4 3 2 1 3 2 1 2 1 1. So we have got the exact values. So the only thing is that we need to arrange these values so that we can get this particular half pattern. So let us go ahead and do that. So here, in order to arrange, I am mentioning end here. So by default, this print is having this end as new line. I am mentioning with space so that we can get everything in a single line. So we can see that. So now, after completion of this particular statement, which is this inner for loop, as and when we reach to the value 1, we need to get a new line. That is what happening in here, right? So for that, what I will be doing is that after completion of this inner for loop, I will use a print statement. This print is having by default a new line character by this end parameter so that we can get the new line. So now if I execute this, we can able to see this kind of a pattern. So we need to arrange this a little bit more. So the reason and how we can arrange is that in this pattern we have spaces first, so later we have numbers, right? So first we need to print spaces. So where we need to print? Before the numbers. So for that reason, as and when I enter into this outer for loop, I am mentioning a print with space and I am multiplying with spaces variable and I am mentioning end is equal to nothing, because if you don't mention end like this, by default end is having new line, it will give new line. We don't want that. So for that reason, I am mentioning end like this. So after that, as we can see here, the spaces are increasing on each new row. So for that reason, after completion of this inner for loop, I will increase these spaces. So spaces plus equal to. So how we can increase is that you can observe in every single new row we are getting two spaces. We have two spaces and we have 1, 2, 3, and here one we have four spaces. Like that, in every single new row the spaces are increasing by 2. So for that reason I will mention spaces plus equal to 2. So now if I execute this, so we can able to get this pattern which is the right side of this pattern. So now I hope you can able to understand this logic to generate this how pattern. So if you found so far interesting and understanding, so hit the like button and subscribe for more. So let us go ahead and see how we can get this particular right side of this pattern. So in order to generate this right side of pattern, we can see that in every single row we are starting with 2 and going till the value 5. Starting with 2 going till the value 5. Starting with 2 going till the value 5. So in every single row, this is happening, right? Not 5. Here it is 5, it is 4, 3, 2. So these diagonal values that we have got by using this I, right? You can remember by using this I, we are getting all these values, these diagonal values. So starting with 2, going till the value I, starting with 2, going till the value I. That is what happening repeatedly, right? So for that reason, what I will be doing is that as we have this repeated statement, I will use a for loop k in range. Now I will be generating the range of values as we have discussed, starting with 2 and going till the value I, right? So I plus 1. So that is what I will be mentioning. So inside of this for loop, instead of knowing what values we have got, I will print the value k here. So if I execute this, we can able to see the values 2, 3, 4, 5. That is what we have in the first row. 2, 3, 4, that is what we have in the second row. 2, 3, that is what we have in the third row. And 2, that is what we have in this fourth row. So like that, we have got every single value. And the only thing we need to do is that we need to arrange these values so that we can able to get the exact pattern. So in order to do that, as like we have arranged previously, I will use an end with this particular single space, and after that what I will be doing is that as and when we have completed this inner for loop, I will mention a new line. So by mentioning this new line, we can able to get the pattern. As it reaches to the value I, we can able to get the new line. So now if I execute this, we don't get the exact pattern, but we will arrange them. So we can able to get this kind of a pattern. So we need to arrange this a little bit so that we can able to get it. So if you could see this, after completion of this for loop, which is this for loop, we are immediately getting these particular values which are generating by this for loop. So we need to arrange this because so that we can able to get the pattern. So here this print having new line and this print also getting new line. So we don't want this new line because it making this pattern coming in the new line. So for that reason I am removing this print. So now if I execute this, so we can able to get the exact pattern. So now I hope you can able to understand this logic. This was very simple. So you can able to understand this logic. In middle, you have found any difficulty while understanding this logic, I sincerely suggest you to watch the video once again carefully so that you can understand the pattern how we are getting clearly. So now what we will be doing is that we will take input dynamically from the user. So for that I am mentioning int input. I am asking to enter rows. So now if I execute this, it was asking to enter rows. If I give let's say value 3 here, so we can able to see the result. In middle we have 1 going till the value 3. So now if I give let's say 9 here, so we can see the result. In middle we have starting with 1 and going till the value 9 here. So I hope you can able to understand this logic to generate this kind of a pattern by any number given by the user. So if you found this video interesting, hit the like button. In the next video we will see this particular pattern. So in this pattern we are in middle we are having this 1 and going till the left side and right side till the value 5 and in the diamond shape. So to stay updated, subscribe to this channel, turn on the notifications to all so that whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.